On the news, President Buhari meets Chadian leader, promises support. G7 nations vote £276 million to victims of insurgency. And INEC meets over attacks on officers. Glad to have you here on News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. President Muhammadu Buhari has met with Chad's transitional leader, General Muhammad Debi, at the State House in Abuja. Buhari promised that his government will provide all the necessary support to ensure the stability of Chad and return to constitutional order. Buhari said he acknowledges the huge role Chad, under the leadership of the late Idris Deby, played in combating terrorism. He therefore urged General Muhammad not to hesitate in seeking help in areas the country deems necessary. Chad will be returning to democratic rule within the next 18 months. This was disclosed by the Chadian leader, Muhammad Debi, who revealed this when he visited President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House on Friday. Nigeria's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, told journalists while giving a brief of the visit. TV360's Mary Kanu reports.
Muhammad Debi, son of former Chadian leader Idris Deby, who took over after his father's death. This is his first official visit since he took over in April 19, 2021. He is in Abuja to seek the assistance of Nigeria as Chad battles northern rebels and seeks to return to democratic rule. Geoffrey Onyema said Nigeria and Chad share similar challenges, and it is expected that the Chadian will seek the support of Nigeria to overcome its present challenges.
Nigeria and Chad are very close, as you know, and are both strong allies in the fight against terrorism and cooperating in other areas. So for his first visit, he wanted to come here and other neighboring countries.
Onyema said the new Chadian leader explained the timeline to return to civil rule to President Buhari and why an uprising of different rebel fighters are operating in the region.
Well, he briefed Mr. President on the roadmap in Chad, how they came about this succession. He pointed out that constitutionally the head of the National Assembly was supposed to take over, but they didn't want to leave a power vacuum, and because they were still really in a situation of war, that the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and the head of the National Assembly all met and said no, that they wanted the military council to stay in place and in power. And he explained that they've appointed as Prime Minister the leader of the opposition who came second in the elections, and that he has been charged with now organizing, first of all, having an inclusive governance process, interim transitional governance process with all the opposition leaders and all the stakeholders, and that over the next 18 months to then organize at the end of 18 months free, fair, democratic elections. And in the meantime, as the head of that transitional military council will be Muhammad Debi Itno. So he explained all that to Mr. President. He thanked Mr. President for the support.
The President promised the support of Nigeria to Chad anytime it is required to guide the nation to a peaceful return to democracy. Mary Kanu, TV360 Nigeria.
The Group of Seven, G7, has agreed to commit £276 million to rehabilitate victims of Boko Haram terrorism in Nigeria. The Group of Seven is an intergovernmental organization consisting of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom and the United States. At the group's meeting, which took place in London, the G7 countries agreed on action to protect the most vulnerable people around the world. Policy and Communications Manager of the British High Commission in Nigeria, Elva Lynch Bethgate, who disclosed this in a statement, said the G7 compact agreed last week to address humanitarian crisis, with northeast Nigeria identified as one of the three priority contexts. The federal government says it will soon resuscitate special terrorism prosecution courts. The Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, disclosed this. Malami made this known in a statement by Umar Gwandu, a Special Assistant on Media and Public Relations in Abuja. Malami said the move is geared towards federal government's commitment to end insecurity in the country. The minister added that the courts are to bring to book all those found guilty in connection with terrorism so as to serve as deterrents to others. The statement further explained that the prosecution of 400 suspected Boko Haram financiers are part of the measures taken by the federal government to counter the twin trouble of insurgency and insecurity in the country. Still on security matters, 2 gunmen have been killed in a joint operation carried out by the Nigerian Army and the Police Command in Imo State. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Akbutu Yaro, confirmed this to newsmen in Owerri, the state capital, on Friday. He said that the 2 men were killed during a gun duel between the military and the unidentified gunmen in Obowo local government area of the state. Items recovered from the gunmen, according to the CP, include 2 rifles, 5 motorcycles, a Lexus SUV, and 1 18-seater bus. He further said that the operation was carried out in line with the federal government's resolve to rid the country of insecurity. The Nigerian Air Force said it has acquired enough armament in the last 57 years to stave off any external aggression against Nigeria's sovereignty. Briefing journalists as part of activities to mark NAF's 57th anniversary, Air Vice Marshal Hassan Abubakar said that in the last 5 years, the Nigerian Air Force has inducted 25 aircrafts to boost its air capabilities. Another platform, JF-171 Thunder aircraft, will also be inducted to expand NAF's air power in commemoration of the anniversary. Abubakar also informed that the theme is in tandem with the vision of the Chief of Air Staff's vision to enhance and sustain critical air power capabilities required for joint force operations in pursuit of national security imperatives. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has summoned to an emergency meeting in Abuja. Resident electoral commissioners across the southeast state and other places where the commission's offices have been attacked on Wednesday. The National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, made this known in a statement issued on Friday in Abuja. INEC laments that the spate of fire incidents involving the facilities of the Commission in some parts of the Federation has unfortunately persisted. The latest tragic incident to the Commission occurred around Thursday in Enugu on the 13th May 2021 when the office building was extensively damaged while electoral materials and office equipment were destroyed. The security situation in the country is getting the attention of women across the country. Women under the banner Southwest Women Arise for Nigeria converged in Lagos, the maiden edition of the One Nigeria conference, where they condemned the lingering security crisis in the country. The women say that as the election year approaches, women and children bear the consequences of crisis across the country and charge political leaders to find a lasting solution to tension across the country.
We are all here in Nigeria today. We know what is happening. They rape our girls, our women, our husbands, our sons are not left out. They all came out from our body. So we need to also cry. Yes, we are crying to God. And God is answering, or else Nigeria won't be here today. Yeah, that much I know. The security situation in this country is something else. You can't go from one state to the other with your heart not out. You can't sleep with your 2 eyes closed. How long are we going to have this type of situation in the country?
Kidnapping now seems to be a most lucrative job aside from oil and gas. Criminal-minded individuals even connive with others to kidnap themselves just to squeeze money out of their relatives. But in all of this, we must remember that beyond politics, no government would watch its administration crumble or deliberately sponsor or encourage bandits and terrorists to shed so much blood as to warrant a state of emergency that could lead to any counteraction. This is why the women must come in and prevail on our husbands, on our children, to toe the path of peace and not allow agents of destruction, use them to cause greater destruction.
The women say it is time Nigeria women brace up and change the narratives of governance by taking active role in politics. The women folks say they will forge a united front in the next political dispensation to fight for a better deal for women and children.
Electoral process. We are looking at 2023 now. Now let us look at the leaders we want to elect into the offices. This is the high time for us to look at the antecedents. What have they done before? Who has been in government? It's not even necessary for us to recycle the same old. Let us look for young, energetic people that can really take up the work. The work is enormous. This gathering today is not about any political party or anything. We are not affiliated to any political party. It's just about women coming together and say, let us arise and take the bull by the horn. Some of us can even come up for political office. Why not if not? Women can do it.
We have to focus on making sure that the country has a viable condition to continue as an entity. Because while we're there looking for how to look pretty, how to cook the nice dishes, the economy is facing huge crisis. The cost of food is rising astronomically. There's so many financial challenges. So it's not time for women to be playing the small game and lose out on the big picture.
The group said Nigeria would not break up as women and children would stand and support the movement of a united Nigeria. The women also for a generational shift in leadership of the nation to a younger generation. They advocate support for Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, in his presidential bid. We take a break here, but still to come, World Health Organization says second year of COVID-19 may be deadly.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truths.
I hardly believe what politicians are saying in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
And let's take a recap of some of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has met with Chad's transitional leader, General Muhammad Dabi, at the State House in Abuja. Buhari promised that his government will provide all the necessary support to ensure the stability of Chad and return to constitutional order. We also told you that the G7 countries have agreed to commit £276 million to rehabilitate victims of Boko Haram terrorism in Nigeria. The G7 says it plans to protect the most vulnerable people around the world from climate-related disasters, help millions of people at imminent risk of famine, humanitarian crisis, and ensure equitable access to the life-saving COVID-19 vaccines. In case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are at TV360 Online. Nigeria on Thursday recorded 53 new cases of the COVID-19 virus, bringing the total number of infections in the country to 165,612. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, disclosed this on its official Twitter handle on Thursday night. The Public Health Agency noted that the 53 new cases were reported from 3 states in the country. Lagos topped the list with 36 new infections, followed by Rivers and Akwa Ibom with 14 and 3 cases respectively. According to the update, no new death was recorded from the virus, which has already claimed 2,066 lives in the country. The Director General of the World Health Organization, Tedros Ghebreyesus, on Friday said the second year of COVID-19 pandemic was on the track to be its deadliest. The WHO chief will reveal this in a press conference on Friday, urged rich countries to donate vaccines to the COVAX scheme rather than jab children.
Trickle-down vaccination is not an effective strategy for fighting a deadly respiratory virus. India remains hugely concerning, with several states continuing to see a worrying number of cases, hospitalizations and deaths. WHO is responding and has shipped thousands of oxygen concentrators, tents for mobile field hospitals, masks, and other medical supplies. It's not only India that has needs. Nepal, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, and Egypt are just some of the countries that are dealing with spikes in cases and hospitalizations. Some countries in the Americas still have high numbers of cases, and as a region, the Americas accounted for 40% of all COVID-19 deaths last week. There are also some spikes in some countries in Africa. These countries are in heightened response mode, and WHO will continue to provide support in all ways possible. COVID-19 has already cost more than 3.3 million lives, and we're on track for the second year of this pandemic to be far more deadly than the first. Saving lives and livelihoods with a combination of public health measures and vaccination, not one or the other, is the only way out of the pandemic.
We'll take a break here and return with more stories in business and stock markets. Just stay with us.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
Wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Up next is business news and stock market review with Mary Kanu.
Thank you very much, Falashade. And now in business, the clampdown on crypto transactions by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, sent waves of protests in Nigeria. Dealers and traders felt the ban was a direct hit on their legitimate means of income, especially at a time when the naira has twice been devalued. Data shows that Nigeria tops the first 10 countries for trade volume, and in 2020, Nigeria ranked third place after the US and Russia, generating more than $400 million worth of transactions. Why are Nigerians pulled like magnets to crypto trading? Earlier, we spoke to the managing director of Handtech Africa Limited, Mike Fowokbe, who gave some insights into this issue.
The attraction, basically, for one, speculative reason. That's the first one. Then two, as a means of exchanging goods. So basically, our importers, since they cannot get dollar from the CBN to fund their imports, so they turned into crypto as a means of exchange for buying their goods from their maybe merchants or producers offshore. So basically, for speculative gains and as a means of exchange for buying their goods.
About 3 years after its unveiling in London, the federal government has relieved hope of the new national carrier with a funding offer above $250 million. The Ministry of Aviation in a memo disclosed that the private sector would avail the fund in line with the public-private partnership design for the Nigeria Air. The national carrier is to replace the defunct Nigeria Airways that ceased operations in 2003. The replacement was designed as a PPP program. The federal government likely to own as much as 10% stake. Well, we'll take a pause now and return with Stock Market Review. Don't go away. The bull is not backing down in its struggle to regain dominance at the equities market as it makes yet another moderate stride into the green territory. It was a bullish trade day as at the close of trading, 0.25% further recovery was recorded on the all-share index, as well as over 20 trillion naira market capitalization. The gains recorded today, which were contributed by 19 equities, can be largely attributed to the oil and gas and financial services sector, with Eterna and United Capital recording 74 kobo gains. Now, inversely, alongside 14 other equities, Guaranty Trust Bank and Transcorp had combined 9 kobo losses as they topped the list of losers. Meanwhile, performance on the activity chart saw over 13 million units valued at over 177 million naira traded in 746 deals. Now, moving on to the global scene, bargain hunters today went shopping in the UK, the US and Asia as the bulls took control of today's trading, as all the stock markets are currently trading in the greens. UK stock FTSE is currently trading at 1.15%, while US stock Dow Jones is currently trading at 0.89%, and Asian stock Nikkei is currently also trading at 2.32%. That's all on Stock Market Review. It's back to Falashade for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Mary. Moving now to the foreign scene, where Israel and Gaza militants have tracked the heaviest exchanges of air raids and artillery shells in the ongoing conflict as Israel stepped up the deployment of troops and tanks near the besieged Palestinian enclave. At least 122 Palestinians, including 31 children, have been killed and more than 900 wounded since violence erupted on Monday. Hundreds of Palestinian families have taken shelter in United Nations-run schools in northern Gaza to escape Israeli artillery fire. Despite international calls for an immediate halt of all hostilities, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu pledged the offensive will continue as needed to restore calm in the state of Israel. Well, up next is Entertainment Report.
Nigerian pop star D'banj has announced the signing of Tanzanian artist Feza Kesi to his record label DB Records. The self-acclaimed Coco Master made this announcement on Instagram. Confirming this news, Feza made the announcement referring to DB Records as her new family. The young lady already has put out a single titled Bless Me, accompanied by an official video. The former Miss Tanzania runner-up found fame in Big Brother Africa Season 8 in 2013, and following her eviction, Feza nurtured her passion for music, releasing her first single Amani na Moyo in 2013 and more recently, My Papa. The highly anticipated Africa Day Concert 2021 have announced the next global wave of talent set to take the stage by storm at the upcoming concert. This year's concert, which is built to take place on May 25, will highlight Africa's budding talents who are making their mark on the global stage. Artists will perform on multiple stages from Lagos to Johannesburg in an event that will be streamed to global audience on YouTube and broadcast across MTV channels. Tenny will perform at the event, as well as Afrobeat stars Bella Shmurda, Omale, Gaki, amongst many others. That's all we have on the entertainment segment of News Now.
Away from entertainment now to sport, Super Eagles coach Gernot Rohr has unveiled a provisional squad list of 31 players for Nigeria's international friendly game against the Lions of Cameroon in Austria on Friday, 4th of June. Headlining the list is Captain Hamad Musa, with Deputy Captain William Ekong and goalkeeper Maduka Okoye. The provisional list of 31 will be reduced to 23 before the Super Eagles fly to Vienna for the clash with the five-time African champion Cameroon. Elina News Bulletin. Thank you for watching. I am Folashade Oguride.